We're doing very well in Iran. You see the result, and it's been amazing. We've knocked out 42 Navy ships, some of them very large, in 3 days. That was the end of the Navy.
2:14 a.m. local time. The Persian Gulf is flat black glass. Humidity sits at 94%. On the island of Bahrain, 8,000 American service members and their families sleep behind a perimeter fence half a mile from the waterfront. A Patriot battery operator stares at his scope. Clean. Nothing but commercial air traffic stacking into Bahrain International. Then the first contact appears. Low, slow, bearing northeast, crawling up the Gulf at 110 knots. He watches for 8 seconds. A second contact materializes behind it. Then a third. Then 6 more bleeding onto the screen like a virus spreading across a petri dish. Shahid, 136 swept-wing kamikaze drones. 2-stroke engine bolted to the tail. Enough explosive packed in the nose to gut a reinforced building. At least a dozen of them aimed directly at naval support activity Bahrain. If you want the full story of how American air defense answered the largest Iranian attack in history, hit like so this reaches more people. The battery commander's problem is not tactical. These drones fly in a straight line at the speed of a Cessna. His problem is arithmetic. A PAC-3 interceptor costs $4 million per round. A Shahid costs $30,000 to build. Firing one at the other is like swatting a mosquito with a Rolex. It works perfectly, but you are never getting the Rolex back. And every interceptor he spends tonight is one he will not have if something faster and heavier shows up behind the swarm. But protecting civilian life is non-negotiable. He fires. The canister blows and the PAC-3 clears the launcher on a pillar of white exhaust. 17 feet of guided telephone pole accelerating to Mach 5 inside 2 seconds. No fragmentation warhead. No explosive charge. Just a 700-pound guided brick that steers itself into the target nose-on and lets kinetic energy do the killing. The Shahid does not maneuver. It does not even detect the threat. The PAC-3 shreds it over the harbor. Debris rains into the water. He fires again. Same result. The drones keep coming because Iran did not send a dozen. Iran sent enough to drain the rack. Here is what the battery commander did not know. The Shahids were never meant to hit anything. They were bait. Expendable noise designed to point every Patriot launcher northeast, while something far worse dropped in from directly overhead. A Fateh 110 ballistic missile plunges from near vertical at Mach 13 while both batteries are still angled northeast, cleaning up the last of the swarm. Iran's most advanced precision weapon slipping through the front door, while security chases skateboarders in the parking lot. The warhead hits a service center 130 feet from the command hub. A second missile flattens a satellite uplink dish. 2 impacts. Out of everything Iran threw at Bahrain that night, 2 weapons landed. The operational impact is close to 0. That satellite dish was one of at least 6 ways 5th Fleet communicates with its ships. HF radio, UHF SATCOM, Link 16 tactical data link, Fleet broadband, encrypted chat. Losing that dish is like someone cutting your landline when you have a cell phone, a satellite phone, and your neighbor's Wi-Fi password. Communications reroute within minutes. 5th Fleet does not miss a single beat. Comment defense below if you think this level of resilience is remarkable. 50 miles across the water in Qatar, Al Udeid Air Base is about to face something far worse. The Combined Air Operations Center sits in a hardened building on that base. Every American air sortie across the Middle East runs through this room. Nobody leaves their console. The air war does not pause because Iran decided to shoot back. At 0300 local, Iranian ballistic missiles cross the Qatari coastline in stacks. Second salvo already climbing before the first arrives. Third right behind it, designed to keep the Patriot battery cycling reloads without a gap. Classic saturation tactics straight from Soviet-era doctrine updated with Iranian precision guidance. A PAC-3 MSE operator picks up the lead track at 40 miles. Speed, trajectory, probable impact point all computed in under 2 seconds. He confirms engagement. The canister blows and the MSE clears the launcher. Same guided telephone pole as Bahrain, but the MSE variant is faster and meaner. Mach 5 steering capability using attitude control thrusters identical to what NASA uses to dock spacecraft in orbit. Firing millimeter corrections at a closing speed where both objects cease to exist on contact. The first intercept flashes above Doha at 80,000 feet. The warhead and interceptor convert into a spray of particles that will drift through the upper atmosphere for days. Over 8,000 miles per hour of combined closure speed, turning solid metal into vapor in a single instant. A second PAC-3 is already climbing before the debris cloud forms. For 90 continuous seconds, every Iranian missile meets an American interceptor on the way up. The operators cycle through engagements with the mechanical rhythm of a crew that has rehearsed this drill 1,000 times in simulators. No hesitation. No second guessing. Lock, fire, confirm kill. Next track. Lock, fire, confirm kill. Iran's one success at Al Udeid comes from the same trick that worked in Bahrain. A maneuvering warhead fires small lateral thrusters at 30,000 feet and shifts trajectory just enough to slide past interceptors already committed to the original track. 2 warheads and a low-flying Shahid get through the saturated engagement window. N/FPS 132 early warning radar takes damage. A section of flight line gets cratered. It does not matter. If this level of detail shocks you, hit like now so more people understand what happened that night. An E-3 Sentry AWACS orbiting at 30,000 feet is already performing the exact same surveillance job the ground radar was doing. The base has backup power, backup comms, and backup sensors for the backups. The cratered flight line gets rapid-set concrete poured within the hour. Inside the CAOC, the screens flicker from the impact. Overhead lights sway. An officer grabs his coffee before it slides off the console. Fire trucks work the flight line outside the blast-proof windows while officers inside continue directing the air campaign against Iran without interruption. Iran put 3 weapons through the front door of the building, running the air war against it. The air war did not notice. But over Kuwait, the sky is about to sound like a thunderstorm that never moves on. Ali Al Salem Air Base faces 380 inbound projectiles. Ballistic missiles and drones stacked together in mixed salvos. Salvo after salvo. The largest combined barrage any missile defense battery has faced in modern warfare. A PAC-3 operator acquires the first inbound Shahab variant at the edge of his engagement envelope, 35 miles out, descending through 60,000 feet at Mach 6. He fires 2 interceptors 8 seconds apart. Standard procedure. If the first misses, the second is already tracking. The first catches the warhead head-on at 40,000 feet. Flash, track gone. The second interceptor, already committed, self-destructs when it loses its target. 2 rounds per threat. That is the math nobody puts in the sales brochure. You do not get second chances against ballistic missiles. The batteries keep firing. White arcs climbing in pairs. Flashing at altitude. Wreckage trails streaking earthward. Ground crews cycle through reload after reload. Canisters emptied, swapped, and replaced by teams working under the strobe light flicker of their own interceptors launching directly overhead. Type yes if you believe these crews deserve recognition for what they pulled off. Every few minutes a new salvo crosses the Kuwaiti border. Every few minutes the Patriot batteries answer. The pace never stops. The accuracy never drops. 3 hours of continuous engagement at a rate of fire no peacetime exercise ever simulated. 380 engagements. 0 leakers. Perfect record. Under conditions no missile defense system on Earth was designed to face at this volume, they bat 1,000. The kind of performance that rewrites every textbook on integrated air and missile defense. Somewhere in a Lockheed Martin boardroom, the next sales presentation just wrote itself. But physics still extracts a cost. 380 intercepts means 380 debris clouds falling somewhere. Most land in open desert. But shrapnel from a high-altitude intercept rains through a supply staging area where troops are loading pallets in the dark. Calls for medics ring out across the base. Ground crews patch the runway with rapid-set concrete and route forklifts around debris craters. A stray drone fragment clips Kuwait International Airport's perimeter. Iran's 1,000 missile barrage has done little more than inconvenience commercial aviation. 380 for 380. The most perfect missile defense performance in recorded history. The shrapnel casualties are the cost of physics, not the cost of failure. Share this so more people understand what American air defenders accomplished that night. And Kuwait is far from the only place making history. At Al Dhafra Air Base in the UAE, a THAAD operator gets the launch notification at 0347 local. 2 ballistic tracks. High arc. Inbound from Iranian territory. Terminal high altitude area defense. 30 years of development. Billions of taxpayer dollars. THAAD proved itself over the UAE in January 2022 against Houthi ballistic missiles. Then it fired roughly 150 interceptors defending Israel across 2024 and 2025. But it has never defended an American base under direct Iranian barrage until this moment. The battery fires. The interceptor blows out of its canister and climbs on a single-stage solid rocket motor. One continuous burn pushing the weapon straight up through the troposphere, through the stratosphere, into the thin black where the sky stops being blue and starts being space. At 60 miles altitude, the nose cone separates. The kinetic kill vehicle emerges. About the size of a basketball. packed with infrared seekers and its own divert thrusters. Flying free at the edge of space where the air is so thin a candle would not stay lit. And this thing is steering itself into a target moving at Mach 8. No conventional warhead. Just mass meeting mass at a combined closure speed that would cross the continental United States in under 12 minutes. The seeker locks the descending Iranian warhead against the cold background of space. Thrusters fire millimeter corrections. The two objects meet head-on. Kinetic energy converts both into vapor 60 miles above the desert. Two flashes above Abu Dhabi bright enough to photograph from the ground. A second interceptor handles the second track with the same clean physics. Acquire, close, convert to vapor. Iran fires over 300 missiles and drones at the UAE that night. Every single one aimed at a military target gets intercepted. Al Dhafar stays in the fight without a scratch. Not a pothole on the runway. Not a broken window in the operations building. Hit subscribe so you do not miss what happens next in this story. Iran tries again in Jordan. An F-35A pilot at Muwafaq al-Salti Air Base is running his last pre-takeoff checks when air raid sirens start wailing. 49 projectiles are converging on the base. Ballistic missiles and drones in mixed salvos. Jordanian interceptors climb hard into the night. A THAAD battery takes the highest threats. A warhead punches through the perimeter. The blast shakes the ramp hard enough to feel through the F-35's landing gear. Smoke rises off the left canopy from a structure that just took a direct hit. His targeting card says Iran. He advances to military power. Feels 43,000 pounds of thrust press him into the ejection seat. Releases brakes. The F-35 accelerates down the runway. Sirens wailing. Smoke visible through the canopy. Interceptor contrails crisscrossing the sky above him. His own base taking fire behind the tail. He rotates into the dark with missiles still arcing overhead. The heads-up display is already populating with waypoints. First target is an IRGC command relay in western Iran. Coordinates updated 6 minutes ago via Link 16. He retracts the gear, cleans up the jet, and points the nose east at 400 knots while a Patriot launch lights up his rearview mirrors. He will fly into western Iran, put precision munitions through those coordinates. Land on his same runway. Rearm. Do it again before sunrise. 2 combat sorties in one night. Both launched from a base under active fire. He is not alone. 60 other American combat aircraft operate out of Muwafaq that night. F-35As. F/A, 18 Super Hornets. Tankers cycling on and off the runway between incoming salvos. Ground crews patch blast damage with rapid-set concrete between launch cycles. As one team finishes one crater, another drives to the next and fills it before the concrete on the first is fully cured. If you believe these pilots and ground crews deserve to be seen, comment respect below. A weapons loader drives his truck around a fresh gouge in the taxiway to deliver dams to a jet turning for its second sortie. Armorers hang 2,000-pound bombs on pylons while Patriot contrails arc directly overhead. Iran threw 49 weapons at this single base using targeting data from Chinese commercial satellites precise enough to identify individual aircraft shelters. The intelligence was perfect. The satellites caught everything. Hardened shelters. Fuel points. The command post. Every one of those jets takes off anyway, drops ordnance on Iran, and comes back for more. In Erbil, Iraq, there is no warning at all. Iraqi militia positions sit 60 miles south, sending cheap Iranian-designed drones at American compounds close enough to hear the engines before radar paints them. By Saturday night, they have claimed 16 separate drone attacks on American positions. Over the American compound, a CRAM operator hears the first one before his scope shows anything. A cheap 2-stroke engine buzzing in the dark at 300 feet. The Phalanx CWS does not deliberate. Search radar acquires the target. Tracking radar refines the solution. The 20mm M61 Gatling gun spins up to 4,500 rounds per minute. 6 barrels rotating over 12 times per second. Tungsten rounds leave the muzzle at 3,600 feet per second. The drone disintegrates at a range close enough to see the fireball without binoculars. The burst lasts less than 1 second. 25 rounds of tungsten meeting a plastic airframe the way a fire hose meets a paper plate. Radar contact to scrap metal. 4 seconds. A second drone comes from a completely different bearing. South instead of west. The gun slews, locks, fires. The night lights up again. Third from the northwest. Same result. Fourth. The barrel assembly is radiating heat visible on infrared by the time they stop coming. The militia crews launching these things from the backs of pickup trucks have no idea whether any are getting through. They just keep feeding them into the dark and posting claims on Telegram. 16 attacks. 16 claims of American casualties. 0 impacts inside the perimeter. The most expensive thing damaged at Erbil all night is a section of perimeter fence hit by falling drone debris from a successful intercept. Share this video before this story gets buried in the algorithm. The only American asset Iran has not targeted yet is the one that is not bolted to the ground. And this becomes Iran's biggest mistake of the entire night. The IRGC launches ballistic missiles at Carrier Strike Group 3 in the northern Arabian Sea. USS Abraham Lincoln heels into a hard turn. The same evasive maneuver that sent an F/A-18 sliding off USS Harry S. Truman's deck during a Houthi attack earlier that year. Flight deck crews grab anything bolted down. For screws churn the Arabian Sea white as 100,000 tons of warship pivots to present the smallest possible radar cross-section to inbound tracks. The escorts do not need the carrier to hold steady. Aegis is already tracking. Cruisers and destroyers spread so wide you cannot see the edges of the formation from Lincoln's Bridge. Spy 1D phased array radars are tracking everything inbound before it clears Iranian airspace. For fixed arrays per ship, no moving parts. Firing solutions building on threats that are still climbing out of their launchers. The missiles have not reached apogee, and the defense already knows where they are going to land. The outer ring fires first. SM-3 interceptors climb out of vertical launch cells on 2 destroyers. VLS hatches blow open. Booster ignites. A 3,000-pound missile clears the deck trailing white exhaust into the dark. Exo-atmospheric intercept. Above the atmosphere entirely, catching the warheads in space before they begin their terminal dive. The SM-3 sheds its first stage. Then its second. Then its third. Each falling away as the missile gets lighter and faster. The final stage is a kinetic warhead the size of a basketball riding into the vacuum above the Arabian Sea at Mach 13. Steering with puffs of nitrogen gas so precise they are measured in millimeters per second. No explosives. Just a guided brick meeting an incoming warhead head-on. Like threading a needle if the needle and the thread are both moving at 10,000 miles per hour and neither gets to try twice. 2 bright flashes the lookouts on the signal bridge can see without magnification. 2 tracks erased before they ever started falling. SM-2s handle the next wave on descent. Interceptors screaming upward from 3 destroyers simultaneously, converging on warheads falling at hypersonic speed. Flashes at altitude. More tracks gone. A pair of Shahids hug the water at 50 feet trying to sneak under radar coverage. They get inside the outer ring before Lincoln's C-RAM picks them up. 2 RAM missiles ripple off the launcher 3 seconds apart. Each a 5-foot guided missile with an infrared seeker homing on engine heat. The first tracks the Shahid across the wave tops and hits it low enough to scatter wreckage across the surface. The second catches the trailing drone a mile behind. 2 threats. 2 missiles. 2 intercepts at ranges measured in thousands of yards. Fireball visible from Lincoln's flight deck. Not a single Iranian weapon touches the carrier or any ship in the formation. 15 minutes later the flight deck is clear and catapult steam is building. But Lincoln is not launching a routine cycle. The air boss calls out every combat aircraft on the roof, loaded to maximum gross weight. Launching in sequence. This is not defense anymore. An F divided by a -18E from VFA, 41 Black Aces rolls onto Catapult 1 carrying 4 GBU 31 dams. 8,000 pounds of GPS-guided ordnance aimed at the IRGC underground command bunker network. The catapult officer drops to one knee, touches the deck. The holdback breaks. 0 to 165 miles per hour in under 3 seconds. The Super Hornet clears the bow and climbs east. Behind it, Catapult 2 fires. Then 1 again. Then 2. 14 jets in 9 minutes. Super Hornets. Growlers for electronic warfare. A Hawkeye riding high to quarterback the strike package. Every pylon loaded. Every jet headed for Iran. Iran took its best shot at shutting this carrier down. It bought them 15 minutes of empty flight deck. Now every single one of those missiles is being answered. Not with interceptors. With dams falling on the facilities that launched them. That is the arithmetic Iran got wrong. Not the cost per interceptor. Not the saturation math. The fundamental miscalculation that shooting at an American carrier strike group does not degrade it. It provokes it. Every missile Iran fired that night generated a return address. And every return address received a response measured in thousands of pounds of precision-guided ordnance before the sun came up. If you believe this story deserves to be heard, hit like, comment strength below, subscribe so you catch what comes next. And share this with someone who needs to understand what American air defense looks like when the missiles are real and the stakes are everything. Because this was not a simulation. This was not a press release. This was the largest integrated air and missile defense engagement in modern history. And every single battery, every single ship, every single crew member answered the call. The next time someone questions whether missile defense works, point them here. The record speaks for itself.